Hello and welcome to eChinese Learning Pod, your go-to podcast for learning Chinese and exploring Chinese culture. To protect speakers' privacy and enhance audio quality, some or all voices in this episode are created with AI assistance.
Hello, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Emily.
And I'm Jake. Thanks for joining us again.
So today is Youth Day in China, also known as
5四青年节.
It comes from the May 4th movement in 1919, and it's really about young people, change, and new ideas.
Yeah, and it kind of makes us think, what does it mean to learn Chinese as a young adult today?
Yeah, especially when you're not a native speaker.
Right. At the beginning, you learn things like
你好
hello.
Or 我会一点中文. I can speak a little Chinese. And you feel like, okay, I got this.
Yeah, and then you actually talk to a Chinese person.
And suddenly it's like, 我听不懂. I don't understand.
Exactly. That moment hits hard.
I think every learner goes through that phase. You studied, you recognize the words, but when people speak, it just sounds like one long sentence.
Yeah, and then you start thinking,
太难了
this is too hard.
But the interesting thing is, it's not that your Chinese is bad. You're just hearing real Chinese for the first time.
Right. Textbook Chinese is one thing. Real-life Chinese is something else.
And then after a while, something shifts. You stop trying to understand every single word.
Yeah, you start realizing 语言是用来交流的. Language is for communication.
Like, even if your sentence isn't perfect, or you miss a few words, you can still get your meaning across.
Exactly. It's not about being 100% correct. It's about, can people understand you?
And once you think like that, everything feels a bit easier.
Yeah, you're not stuck anymore. You're actually communicating.
I also think young learners have an advantage. They're more willing to just try.
Yeah, less afraid to sound wrong.
Because at some point, you realize, even if your sentence is not perfect, people still understand you.
And that feeling is huge.
So maybe learning Chinese is not about being perfect. It's more about getting comfortable with not understanding everything.
And still choosing to speak anyway.
If you're learning Chinese right now, you're probably somewhere in this journey.
Yeah, and wherever you are, that's part of the process.
All right, that's it for today.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Oh, see ya.
Want to practice what you've learned today with a real Chinese teacher? You can get a free one-on-one trial lesson at eChineselearning.com. That's it for today's episode of eChinese Learning Pod. Thanks for tuning in.